hedder Torben Holleufer, og jeg er journalist. I 2012 fik jeg mulighed for at interviewe Albert Kovesin, som er leder og bagmand for det mangeårige meget spændende orkester fra Sibirien, Yat-Kha. Det skete i forbindelse med den koncert, de afholdt på Global på Nørrebro i København. Albert Kovesin havde lige spillet et hæsblæsende sæt, hvor han som sædvanligt havde spillet en ualmindelig aggressiv gang rock, hvor han ikke holdt sig tilbage fra at spille alle mulige covers, men hvor han også spillede musik, som havde direkte rødder til den shamanistiske musik, som man spiller på stepperne i Tuva, den bjergrige republik, som ligger der på nordsiden af den mongolske folkerepublik, og som jo altså er musik, som indeholder alt fra strubesang til guitarbrede sider, som kunne minde om alt fra Black Sabbath til Jimi Hendrix.
Tell me something. Are you always three people, or is it how you feel?
Four people usually, but our bass player will join us in a few days in the next concerts.
Okay. You still live in Tuva?
Yes. I was living in Moscow for a long time in the 80s, no 90s, and then about 12 years ago I decided to come to my fatherland.
Okay. So, I have this idea that it's you have like Tuva is next to Altai, right?
Altai,
Tuva,
and Tuva to east, but next to from Altai to east.
So not far from, is it north of the Mongolian People's Republic?
Yes,
northeast like that, right?
Northwest.
Does that mean that you're on the same? Is it the same culture as the one that you find in with the Hangai and bands like that that are from like the Chinese side, inner Mongolia?
Yeah.
It's the same culture.
We have a lot of influence of Mongolian culture as well as Russian culture too.
Yeah.
And of course something from China.
But is that your country? Is that a country, or is it a part of
it is
part of Russia?
Part of Russia. It is a region inside the Russian Federation.
Okay.
But it was an independent republic for a short time between 1921 and 1944. People republics of Tuva.
Hunhur is from your place as well.
Also
right?
from Tuva.
You used to play with them.
Yeah, I was
one of the founders. Or
yes,
right.
But I was too boring to play traditional music for 2 hours sitting in a chair and no expression.
I understand that.
I always love to play live, especially rock music, and I'm happy that I can do it right now.
Oh, you play very well.
We
like
try.
That stuff. Yeah, that game.
Not much tonight because there no bass line, but when the bass keep all.
I'm also working with something else. That is, we're doing like a school project at the moment. Have you heard about that?
I've got material from Christine Fens, and that's music from around the world, and they do lines, notations, and words. Yeah.
And you have given permission to that?
Of course, yeah. Because I think we have to support such things.
Yeah, so because
education, especially
it's about that the children in the high schools of Denmark are going to play your songs.
Yeah, we do. I mean, it's not really experimental, but we always select to try different style, different.
No, but I think that you were touching some things that was like when I heard his what do you call that violin?
Igil.
Huh?
Igil.
Igil, that's why I give you my card, so you can have the right names.
She's a consulting expert.
Okay.
Yeah,
Tuva.
a Tuvan expert. And thank you for Tiger Power, the shaman said, the one with the white hair.
Tiger Power.
Because I like very much the way he played it. It reminded me a lot of John Cale.
Mm-hmm.
of like totally Velvet Underground style, like
Yeah, I think
especially in the
he
end.
doesn't know Velvet Underground or
He doesn't know this.
no, but it is like traditional style of playing. But I think we should give him Velvet Underground. I think tonight we got something similar to Velvet Underground. Not always, but tonight was special night
was very
for
special night.
Copenhagen.
What about this music that you play? Just tell me a little bit about how did you start out? Did you start out as a traditional musician or not?
No, I was a bass player first in rock bands, and then
In Moscow or on
no,
tour?
in Tuvan, Kizel, and then I studied guitar, classic guitar in college, and then I had after the college I had to practice in philharmonic.
Was it when it was the Soviet Union?
Yes, of course. And I met some boys from remote villages, and they were singers, and they knew all traditional songs, and we started to be friends. And of course, I turned it into traditional music. I started learning songs, and then they said just why you should not try to sing yourself. And suddenly I got the sound.
You did know throat singing before that?
Of course I heard around, but I never gave my attention to traditional music and throat singing. When I tried myself,
But your background that you grew up in?
in the city, I was in the
What
city.
was your father and mother doing?
They was just normal people in Soviet Union time. My father was a volleyball coach and teacher in school. Then my mother was working in it's called Soviet trade or something like this. And of course they love music and always play instruments and sing all together. But they're not professional musicians.
No, but what I'm thinking is that somehow you were equipped with as we say, curiosity and a hunger for just getting all kinds of music into your head. I mean, did that music? I mean, like punk music. Was that something you were listening to when you were young?
There was a problem because there was only possibility official radio station, 2 channels, and TV, 1 channel, and they broadcast only Soviet light pop music, Soviet classic music, and Russian traditional music. That's it. And
You couldn't pick up like
all rock.
Japanese radio stations or anything.
Later we can catch radio waves from America and also from BBC, Russian world service, Russian service, and a lot of Chinese. But when you luck, you can record some American music, and of course black market, and some students who been students in Moscow and sailors from Pacific, Soviet Navy. They brought illegally LPs, vinyl, and reel-to-reel cassettes, tapes, and it's distributed between small circuits of friends, and we copy it for each other, and that was our first.
So what is like your first great experience? Which band was the first thing?
Led Zeppelin, I think, especially the drum solo of John Bonham, and then later
Moby Dick.
Of course, that is great. Jimi Hendrix later, and all hard rock music from England, from USA, and even from Germany. Kraftwerk.
Kraftwerk?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you like that immediately?
Because it was so unusual, and it was totally different sound and all ideas that was in Soviet Union under the communist ideology.
Did you listen to bands like Can also?
Not that time. I got later. But we, of course, we didn't listen everything like our same age people abroad. But we knew a little, not much. There were many bands actually, but it is the same similar story because they couldn't make a record and they couldn't release it, and it was really underground time for Soviet Union.
Yeah, there was only ethnic music. Yes, there was
it
plenty
was
of
official traditional music.
yes, traditional
Because
music.
it was not a real, how say.
But I know about that because I've been buying that. When Soviet Union went down, I went, yeah. And I was like into like Rashid Babidov and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, Rashid Babidov was a great singer.
Great singer, you know, stuff like that. And that suddenly I could find in these Soviet shops, I could find all kinds of stuff, or stuff where they play with the sitar, you know, that's a doper one. And then suddenly Azerbaijani music, Alim Kasimov and all that stuff.
Very
It was like,
famous.
yeah, you know, cool music, you know.
There were a lot of great artists there. But the problem, they only could go through one record label. There was a monopoly,
Yeah.
and to get possibility to make a record in this label, you had to go through
Party.
control and all communist
censorship,
parties, censorship and KGB, and I have get a lot of signatures. But I mean, it was the main thing.
So what did you...
How you're loyal to communist system.
So you went to study in Moscow?
No, I studied in Tuva, and then I traveled in some big cities in Moscow, and of course I studied a little in for bass guitar in other colleges in Russia, but not for a long time.
When did you get your first electrical instrument?
Oh, when I was a student, and I had played in cafe and restaurants, and I earned a little money, and I bought my first German Democratic Republic guitar. It was not bad.
Then with your music, then you when did you form Yat-Kha?
The first time the title of Yat-Kha appeared in 1991, I think. I met one musician in Moscow who was like electronic keyboard philosopher or something like this. And then we made the first CD where we tried to mix electronic, even trance dance music,
Okay.
with shamanistic melodies,
Okay.
to one throat singing instruments, and it was really very well accepted in Moscow musician circuit. But then we broke, and next year I invited my friends, musicians from Tuva, and we started to play live concerts more in traditional acoustic way.
Okay.
But then slowly we bring more and more electric, especially electric guitar, and then bass, and then we start to use drum sets, then pedals, and now it sounds more or less like rock music.
Yeah. But still, it's got the Tuvan elements also in it.
Of course, we play about 50% traditional song arranged.
How important is shamanistic culture at home?
In Tuva it still exists, still alive, and even Buddhism, they mix it with shamanism, like very organic, very tough. I mean, we of course we play. I mean, it is not real shamanistic music, but a lot of small beats, tips from shamanism.
Do you have this thing very much in where you come from? Is it taiga where you come from?
Mountains, steppes, taiga, of course.
Taiga,
Yeah.
Taiga is in forest.
That's a forest.
In our
Taiga
language,
in forest,
in
mountain
our
forest.
language,
Okay.
I mean, in Siberia, taiga it is like big forest, but Tuva is mountain.
But that
country.
means that you have been playing with this ever since. And how many albums have you made now so far with Yat-Kha?
Maybe 7 studio albums or 8 studio albums, and 3-4 live recordings about it.
You know about
In general, maybe 10 or 11.
Can you tell me about the? Can you tell me about the tracks that you have selected? Have you selected 2 tracks for this school thing? Do you know? Can you tell me something about those 2 tracks? Do you know which ones they
I
have
don't
selected?
remember exactly which one. I think the traditional tunes. I don't remember exactly what song.
And traditional, but does that mean traditional stuff from the countryside or from the towns or from what is?
Of course, from countryside, because in old days we didn't have cities in Tuva.
Do you have tribes?
Kind of more like yeah, it is tribes. Yeah,
Let's say
I
that.
think it's. I mean, of course, they now mixed a lot, but still they keep very close
But are people-
relationship between people from one tribe.
But are people also very much nomadic still?
Some, not
15%.
yeah. Some people they still move 2-3 times in a year with their own sheep, or they move. For example, for summertime, they have some pastures where they live for 6 months approximately. Then they move to other place. And for winter, they change place.
What do they have? Goats?
Goats,
Do they have goats?
goats, sheep,
Sheep? Still horses? Or is-
horses, cows, yaks in the mountains, camels, and we have mountain tundra where they keep reindeers.
Well, your lyrics, are they modern lyrics or are they?
We have some our own songs, which is modern, and we have cover versions. But every time we write own songs, more and more.
Is it political songs or is it poetic songs? Or?
Not really political now. More like about life, philosophy. Not social songs and not protest songs as before.
Okay. So there's like a so you're seeking the trance in the music very much, or is it just how it is?
I think it is just for two. It is very normal way of singing, and people they never thought that is connected with the spirits or other worlds. But at the same time, some shamans say that each style of throat singing comes from different spirits.